Well, listen, it's a start. It's a start to an intro. It's not a full intro, but it's coming along, folks. It's taking me a little longer to do an intro. Mad busy, but I always make time to do a Saturday morning review show. Welcome to this glorious Saturday morning. Skip, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just having a good old time, trying to watch some movies, trying to do some interviews. Got a nice interview yesterday with the prosthetics and makeup designers for the horror movie The Ugly Stepsister. So that was kind of cool.
I know all week long you were dreading that interview.
I get scared. I'm not like you, where you were so good back in the day. Let me throw you folks out there a little bit of a story on Vinny. Back in the day when him and I used to do the Best Damn Movie Show years ago, and we would get interviews with all kinds of people, wrestlers, actors, just different people, music people, whatever. Vinny would just be able to interview these people at the drop of a hat. If he didn't even know he was going to do an interview with somebody, he'd see somebody at a restaurant or on a corner or whatever coming out of a radio station. He'd go to, and it's a question just came out of him, and they were like, the guy was like a gifted interviewer. Me, I want to sound good. I don't want to ask the wrong question, get somebody upset with me or whatever. So I was kind of nervous with my interview yesterday, but it turned out good.
I think I'm just more of capturing the moment. You have to understand back then to now was way different with interviews. Interviews today, it's kind of like you have to have a reputation of doing them. Like, people are so into numbers and followers. I know when me and you used to do the conventions, it wasn't like that. It was you went up to somebody and you said, "Hey man, I got a couple questions for you. You mind me asking them?" And sometimes they would say, "Yeah, shoot, go ahead. Let's do it real quick." Sometimes they would say, "Come back on Sunday." So then someday, so I would have to see if it was worth to come back to on Sunday, because it's like a 30-45 minute drive. Well, then you got to pay to get in again. So you have to understand and realize your time and it's valuable to go back and do these interviews. But I do miss them, man. I would like to get back into doing it, because I had a lot of good ones, and I can interview somebody on the top. What would you say? Would you say
at the top of your head? I mean, just like out of nowhere, someone's coming out of a restaurant. Hey, blah blah blah. You mind if I talk to you for 5 minutes? Or a radio station, or wherever. Like, somebody might have popped in your restaurant, and you're like, "Holy crap! Let me go talk to this person." And you just boom, boom, boom. You got questions off the top of your head.
Yeah, but sometimes I tell you the hardest part about doing interviews with somebody is it's hard. Okay. So if you pre-set up the interview where you're like, "Hey, listen, I'm going to ask you this, and this. I want you to elaborate a little bit more on that, and maybe tell me how you did this." That would probably be a lot better than me, where I'm like, "Hey, listen, I got like 4 or 5 questions. Do you mind me asking on record?" I first started just doing audio, and then I started doing video. But the problem with that is sometimes these guys, they can come up with the answers so quick that sometimes I would have 4 or 5 questions that I knew I had to answer. I wanted an answer. And maybe I had an extra, I don't know, 7 or 8 on the back burner. But sometimes these guys would blow through all 7 of them super quick. I would be like, "Shit, they got me, man." But I'm lucky enough to have that talent where I can go on somewhere, even on radio, man. I can just talk and I can just bullshit my way through, because I don't know. It's a gift. All right, Skip, let's talk about today's episode. We're going to be talking about the new well, I mean, it was new. It's a little old now. We're going to be talking about Anaconda with Paul Rudd and Jack Black. Also, there is a couple spoiler cameos in the movie, and then we're going to wrap things up with our 2026 most I can't say that word, Skip.
Anticipated.
Was it?
Anticipated
Movies of 2026. I went and watched some trailers and watched some and looked at some information, and I got my list. Is there anything else you want to maybe review that you saw this week?
Well, I saw a couple movies this week. One movie that came out a while ago, I already had a review on the site from one of my writers, but every time I was going to go try to see it, I missed it. So that's Is This Thing On? Directed by Bradley Cooper and starring Will Arnett. And then also the latest film from Jim Jarmusch, who's an auteur director, but he won the Venice Film Festival Golden Lion back in the fall. And so I'm finally getting around to seeing Father, Mother, Sister, Brother.
All right, we'll start with that.
Well, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother is an anthology film in a triptych format, it means it's got 3 stories, and each of the 3 stories deals with an aspect of the father, mother, sister, brother story. The first one's the father, and it deals with Tom Waits, and he gets a visit from his two children, Adam Driver, Maya Bialik, and they just kind of talk to him, and they see that he's got like a rocking chair. It looks like over the lake. It's a really nice, but the father is a little shady. We don't want to get into too much about. He's kind of hiding some things from his son and his daughter, and he kind of reminded me of my own father to some extent. I don't want to spoil it, but that's that story. Then the second story is an author played by Charlotte Rampling in Ireland, and she gets visited by both of her daughters, played by Vicky Krieps and Kate Blanchett, and they have their annual tea. Where they have tea once a year, and it's kind of tension filled. You see one of the daughters isn't necessarily the best daughter, and the other one's kind of like a little bit shy or whatever, but the mother is like kind of like a domineering presence in their lives. Then the third one is a pair of twins in France. They're going to visit their parents' old apartment. Their parents passed away in a tragedy, but then they get together after not being together for a while, the brother and the sister, and you can see how close they are, and you get to see all the different photos and stuff of their parents and where they're from and all the different places they go. It's such an interesting melancholic movie that deals with various aspects of family life and relations between children and their parents and so forth. I'll tell you what, I'm a fan of Jim Jarmusch. I mean, Patterson and Dead Man and other things that he's directed. But this might be one of my favorite, if not my favorite film from his, because of the aspects of the parental stuff. And in the cast is pretty amazing as well. And the cinematography and all the stories have little things that tie them together. I won't say that here because I want people to watch it and see if they can find all the things that tie the 3 stories together in a way. But this is a fantastic movie. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. My reviews on the site dropped this morning. It's a phenomenal movie. I really like it. It's not going to be your kind of movie though, Vinny. I just have a feeling it wouldn't be your kind of movie.
I tell you what, you get into some this guy right here. He gets into a lot of like just independent, like just random movies, and that's not a bad thing. But I think he makes more time for things like that. I used to be a movie person. I used to love movies, and I still do. But I feel like you're surrounding yourself with certain people, and you're getting older. I feel like you don't want to waste a lot of time. And time is one thing we do not have. It's never on our side. So for me, movies is kind of a treat because there's so much that I want to accomplish. There's so much I want to do this year. And there's a list a mile long, maybe even 2 miles long of movies that I did not see last year. And I was going on Vudu the other night looking and seeing, and I'm like, wow, I didn't see that. I didn't see this. I didn't see that. And which is not like me because I used to try to keep up with Skip with seeing as many movies as I can. But Skip Skip is like if some mad scientist took a Viper, a Corvette, and a Lamborghini and took all three motors and put them in, and then he had like 200,000 horsepower. That's Skip. And that's like me trying to keep up with him with my truck that only has a V8 in it. Like, it's never going to ever happen. Like, I might have just parked my truck on the side of the road and watched Skip pass me several times, because that's what it is.
Well, appreciate that.
It really is, man. I'm telling you, I just don't have. I mean, I read more now than I watch movies. I let my mind think more than I. Okay, what's the other one you have?
I got this thing on. It's a movie about a husband and a wife, and they are deciding that they're going to get a divorce. And in a midlife crisis, the wife decides to go get back into what she was famous for years earlier, and that's playing volleyball or coaching volleyball, while the husband decides he's going to become a stand-up comedian. And this is based on a real-life stand-up comedian, Alex Novak, and he was a friend of Bradley Cooper. And Bradley Cooper decided, this is an interesting story. I might turn this into a movie, and he did. So the main characters are played by Will Arnett and Laura Dern, and then a couple of the friends, family friends, and so forth of Bradley Cooper and people like that. And he's kind of a goofy character in the movie, Bradley Cooper is. But the family has twins, and it's basically about this man really having a midlife crisis and this woman having a midlife crisis, and then they realize being away from each other for a while was enough to maybe possibly get them to come back together a little bit. And interesting story. I haven't seen Will Arnett in a lot of things. I hear his voice a lot. He's in a lot of animated shows and movies and things, but you don't get to see him in something. And I thought he did a real good job, of course, with Academy Award winner Laura Dern. So I gave this. I had my review on the website like 2 months ago from one of my writers, because they saw it at the Toronto International Film Festival. So I was just getting around to seeing it because it's just coming out in theaters in Central Florida now. So I'd give it probably 4 stars.
Do you think there's a lot of movies that we don't get right away that other places of the world get? Like, I know it used to be where California and New York would get movies before we do. Is it still like that?
Oh yeah, because this movie is this thing on. It came out in New York and LA in December 19th, and now we're just getting it January 9th. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, it played at a couple film festivals. I was at a film festival it was at, but I chose to go see something else instead of this. So that's why it took me a little while to get to it. But it's not. It's a good movie. It's a real good movie. I don't think it's an Oscar contender like the last 2 movies Bradley Cooper directed.
Okay, let's talk about the last review we have. Did you go see this? You did not go see this.
No, it's just, I've decided sometimes there's certain types of movies and certain things that just don't attract me to them. And so one of them was like, I'm just not up to go see Anaconda. Plus I don't like snakes. So those 2 reasons I decided not to see it.
Would say this movie is a hybrid of Jumanji and the Disney Cruise. And I say Jumanji because I feel like in some way Jack Black kind of plays the same quirky, goofy character he did in Anaconda. And didn't he get eaten by a snake in Anaconda too? Or I'm sorry, not in Anaconda. Didn't he get eaten by a snake in Jumanji?
I don't remember. Honestly,
I thought he did. I swear he got. Well, anyways, so Anaconda. I mean, this is what, the 3rd remake, the 2nd remake.
It's the 2nd.
Yeah. So they had the one with.
They did some sequels, but they're not remakes. This is a true remake or reimagining.
What was the first one? The first one was Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez.
I believe so. Yeah.
Let's see.
Came out in the 90s.
Let's see if we can make sure that we're let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it did come out in the 90s, but I swore there was another one that came out before Jack Black's version. I'm sorry, not Jack Black's version. before God, why can't I
Yeah,
think?
yeah, they did some sequels. They didn't do
No,
remake. They did sequels.
yeah, but I swore there was another one before the Ice Cube one. I swore there was. Let's see.
Well, then I don't know about that. Then
Okay, so Anaconda, D. Okay, so yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. So the one with John Voight and Jennifer Lopez and Ice Cube was the first one. Okay, so and then yeah, so then they had Anaconda. So there was one in 2024, which I don't know what the hell that was.
oh,
There was
cool.
a 2020 or 2008 one with David Hasselhoff. Um, so then what was what's Anaconda 2?
Yeah, I thought there was some sequels, but I mean, who knows? It wasn't. It's never been a franchise that I was like interested in.
Yeah,
I don't like
I
snakes and I don't like spiders.
okay, Anaconda 2, The Hunt of the Blood Orchard, 2004. Yeah, so there's been some other ones. I mean, it's listen. I'm gonna sum it up real quick. I'm gonna tell you that I think it had its funny parts. Did I think this was a movie that should have been made again? No. I am gonna spoil this a little bit and tell people that there is a cameo with Ice Cube and Jennifer Lopez from the 1997 one. They do make appearances in this, which I think was kind of cool. I actually think that made the moments of the film. I think the storyline. There is one point in the movie where I thought was just totally stupid. Jack Black was fighting with his crew, and these two big boats come, mowing by, and they look like they're doing a film. And Jack Black goes, "Hey, what are you guys filming over there?" And the girl goes, "We're doing another Anaconda. Sony rebooted it." And he looks at Paul Rudd, because Paul Rudd in the beginning of the film said he had the rights to the Anaconda franchise. So he kind of lied to Jack Black to get him on this journey. So it was a little stupid. There were some funny parts. I think by now Jack Black has just, I feel like sometimes he just takes whatever he gets thrown at him.
Well, how about Paul Rudd lately this year? Paul Rudd hadn't been in a lot of great stuff this year.
Yeah.
Either. There's like, did you ever see that movie Friendship? Oh, that was awful.
No, Friendship. Who's that?
Yeah.
That's with Paul
and
Rudd?
Death of a Unicorn earlier this year, which I actually kind of liked. But
what was it?
Death of a Unicorn. He was in Death of a Unicorn earlier this year and Friendship earlier this year. And I absolutely hated Friendship. But Jack Black's been in a couple things too this year with obviously Minecraft, which, oh my God.
I know, but they're making another one.
That was terrible.
There's one movie. There's one movie I watch from Paul Rudd. And I watch it over and over again. I don't know what it is about it. It's called This Is 40.
Really? Oh, okay.
I don't know what it is. Between that This Is 40 and the 40-year-old version and Superbad. All three of those I could watch over and over again. And I don't know what it is. I think This Is 40. I think I can just relate to it because the what's the girl in there? Her name is to be the main character?
Kristen Wiig?
No.
I forget. Honestly, I forget. I forget who's in it.
I can relate to her because I look at myself in this aspect. Not Liza Main. I don't know. I'm saying her name, Lisa Main.
Okay.
I think she's married to if I'm not mistaken, I think she's married to the director of this movie. And I think her
What movie are you
kids.
talking about again? What movie are you talking about again?
This is 40. This is yeah, I think it's Judd Apatow's wife.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I watch it all
Leslie
the time.
Mann. Oh, Leslie Mann. No, that's Sam Rockwell is married to her.
So somebody I forget what movie it is. I know Adam Sandler puts his kids in the movies all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. It's Judd Apatow's kids in this film. That's what it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Judd Apatow's kids are
yeah. He directed it. Yeah.
But let's not go off the side rails here. Anaconda, would I watch it again? If I was on a date or if I was with a girl and she wanted to watch it, I watch it again. But let's put it this way: I'm not going to go out of my way to put it back on and watch it again. Like it's just stupid comedy funny. There's no point in it.
Yeah, that's the reason why I didn't go see it. I mean, despite the fact that I don't like snakes, but
so I would give this movie, I'd probably get a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Let's talk about some movies, man, that are coming out this let's end the show off with some movies that are coming out, because there's quite a bit of there's a couple that I wrote down that I don't know if you I actually watched the trailers from I really enjoyed it. Have you seen the trailer for oh boy, hold on, my computer just took a dump. I hate when that happens. So I didn't know there's another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie coming out this year.
Yeah.
Is that a cartoon or real life?
I believe it's the sequel to the last animated movie with the same animation style, which I love. I absolutely love that. It's not a live action or anything. There was rumors, or that was in production, a Ronin, a team where it was just Raphael as like a Ronin, like a single like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle as a samurai on his own, roaming the world and stuff. And that's based off of a very, very acclaimed comic book. And the guy who runs Paramount canceled it. So we're not gonna see Ronin, which, oh my God, I wanted to see that so bad.
This movie looks really good. It has Bill Skarsgård, Al Pacino, and Carrie Ellis. Dead Man's Wire.
Yeah, that's out right now. You can actually go to the theater and see that right now. I already saw it. I got a review.
And it's funny because it's funny. It says coming out June 16th.
Yeah, well, this movie came out already. It's in theaters right now. You can go to the theaters and see this movie, Dead Man's Wire.
Are these movies are you telling me that some of these movies are not the
well, I don't know what trailers you watched, so I don't know.
Well, no. What I'm saying is Dead Man's Wire says on IMDb it's coming out on June 16th.
Well, yeah, no. It came out in film festivals earlier this year, and then it's coming out this year at January 9th, and it's in theaters right now. You could actually go see Dead Man's. I already saw it. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it.
You also have Night Patrol that comes out that same weekend starring CM Punk.
Yeah, that's going to come out in a couple of weeks. That hasn't come out yet.
That I don't know. I have mixed emotions for that. Return to Silent Hill. I know you are, but I enjoyed the first one. So I'm excited to see Return to Silent Hill. The big one that I'm looking forward to, a couple actually. The Bride.
Bride comes out in March. It's from Maggie Gyllenhaal, the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal, and stars Jessie Buckley. By that time, this is the funny part about it, Vinny. She could actually have an Oscar on her mantle by the time this movie comes out in March, because the Oscars are around that time, and her new movie with Christian Bale playing the monster and her playing the bride in a twisted version of Frankenstein and the Bride is coming out. Yeah, I had it on my top 10 most anticipated.
Well, there's a lot of people in this movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's in this, Christian Bale, and Penelope Cruz is in this as well.
Yeah, it's got a good cast. I mean, Maggie Gyllenhaal's directed her last movie, I believe. God, I can't think of what it was at this now. I'm drawing a blank what her last movie was, but she's done a few things, Maggie, in the past. She's not doing as much acting now as her brother is.
We also have Scream 7. I'm gonna keep going on with this. I don't understand why we keep beating a dead horse with this story here. But everybody and their mother wants to see Scream 7. I don't really understand why.
Well, you had the controversy last year where both Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega both left the project because of their stance on the whole Israeli-Gaza situation. And so they had to kind of rewrite the thing and bring in some new people, and they come up with a new concept for Scream, but it's a sequel of this new grouping of Scream movies.
Well, the only person that really matters in this franchise that came back that wasn't in the last two was Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
They got Nev Campbell back on the project, so I mean she's the main chick.
And I believe Tierra is coming back, which I can't wait to see what she was in the last one, and I like her, so I want to see what they do with her in this one. Hopefully she's in it.
Now, I know you're looking forward to the Billie Eilish Hit Me Hard and Soft tour concert. I know you said that's on your list of going to see in the theaters on March 20th. I know you're a big Billie Eilish fan. I'm surprised you didn't wear his t-shirt tonight. So I know you're looking forward to that film.
No, I'm not the biggest Billie Eilish fan. But I like her music. I don't love her music, but
Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. Is a sequel. This one actually looks really good. And the other one came out 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, Ready or Not was a fun horror movie. And the sequel, you think, oh, okay, it's over with. No, it's not over. And I saw the trailer at the theater on Thursday when I was at the theater. I was like, oh, this looks fun. This looks like it's going to be pretty interesting. Because, the first one was really good. So it's from the people, this specific group of, what was it, Abigail? They did Abigail. They did this. They did, they have, and they go to the extra mile with the blood in their horror movies. So you're going to see a lot of blood in this Ready or Not 2.
I got to tell you a movie that's coming out that, I honestly didn't even think he was really acting anymore. I thought he was doing more Broadway, but there's a movie coming out, a horror movie called The Third Parent. It's starring Rob Lowe and Crispin Glover. Do you know where Crispin Glover is from?
Yeah, Crispin Glover is from Back to the Future. I saw him in a movie in April called Mr. Something or Other, and it was, oh my God, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life. Mr. Something or Other. He comes into this hotel, and his hotel's like alive. It came alive, and the walls are, oh God, the wildest thing you ever want to see. But it's got your boy Crispin Glover in it.
Another movie that's coming out that same week. It's gonna demolish that one, and this is a long time coming, is a Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the last Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt as Mario, and then you have Jack Black back, and you probably have Anya Taylor-Joy back, and you have the whole crew back from the last Super Mario Brothers movie. So it was such a massive hit. Universal and Illumination were gonna greenlight a sequel very quickly. You know what I mean? And I guess they're doing a Zelda too, so we're gonna see a Zelda at some point, I think.
We're going back a couple more years to bring Emily Blunt, Anne Hathaway, and on the Devil's Wear Prada 2. Long time and waited for this one.
Oh yeah. That's what, at least 20 years. I think 20 something years around there. It's got to be close to 20 years since the last Devil Wears Prada movie. But I mean, at at the out front, you think, oh, this wouldn't be the kind of movie I would like. I absolutely love The Devil Wears Prada. And Meryl Streep was eating up the scenery. That's the first time I ever saw Emily Blunt. Most of the movie, she had a cold, but that was a movie that kind of put her on the map. But oh my God, Meryl Streep was amazing in that.
Another one that I'm looking forward to is Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot information about that out there. I mean, another He-Man movie, because the other one came out in the 80s and it was absolutely awful, atrocious. So a new He-Man movie is kind of one of those ones you want to see it, but do you really want to see it kind of thing? Because you don't know.
It's one of those things. Yeah,
they might screw it up again.
It's definitely one of those things where it's you cross your fingers that they don't screw it up this time. Well, the next couple movies, you might have mixed feelings about. Mortal Kombat 2, which is I've heard it's going to be as good as the first one. Let's just see if this is actually true.
Yeah, it's supposed to be out in October of this year, and they moved it to next year because Warner Brothers has had so many movies out in 2025 that were making money. They're awards contenders and all this stuff. They pushed it to 2026, and it's got your boy Cody Rhodes in it. So we'll see.
Know. Cody Rhodes it's Cody and Roman.
Oh, is he in it too? Roman's in it too? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scary Movie 6, which I'm kind of disappointed in this because the Wayans brothers are writing it. Keenan Wayans and Marlon Wayans. I don't know. I don't think Sean is attached to this. Oh no, he is. But I don't think they're in the film. Because I do see Sean and I do see Damian Wayans in it. So I'm not sure exactly where this is going to come out, but I mean, the last one, man, it's the last Mortal Kombat. The last Scary Movie 6 was a long time coming. So,
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that franchise. I'll be honest with you. I just don't like horror spoofs. So this is kind of like a spoof on like Scream or whatever, or this horror genre as a whole. And I'm just not a big fan of spoofs. Now, I did like The Naked Gun, though. I will tell you that.
Toy Story 5, I'm actually looking forward to. June 19th. This is the final nail in the coffin for the dolls in the box. So let's just hope that it's not. I wasn't a big fan of the last two. Now, I think that they had great stories and great morals. I just don't think the last two really had a great storyline.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest. I will, I've come out on record. I am not the biggest fan of the Toy Story franchise. I didn't grow up with the Toy Story franchise. I've seen all the movies, and like the third one really upset me quite a bit. Now, there are a couple other Pixar movies coming out this year. Hoppers and Gato, I believe they're both coming out in March, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but yeah, there's going to be like 3 Pixar movies in like a span of like 3 months.
Well, you also got Minions 3 coming out on July 1st.
And that's another Illumination animation. That's the people that made Mario Brothers and Shrek, and not Shrek, but the Grinch, the animated movie, The Grinch, and all the Despicable Me movies. That's Illumination. So that's them.
On June 26th, you got Supergirl. That actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, well, we see Supergirl at the end of Superman, the movie, the new rebooted Superman from James Gunn, his new DC universe that he's created. We see her show up, and she said, "Hey, thanks for keeping an eye on my dog." And then, Superman goes his way, and she goes, and so we find that she's got this kind of early 1920s, like 20, like these college girls, these drunken college girls that go out and party and have a good old time and this, that. Well, this is Supergirl. So she's in space going to different planets, having a good old time partying. And she's not your Supergirl that you remember from the 1980s movie or the comics. And we get Lobo, which is a big comic book character in the DC universe that hasn't had his big DC film debut until now, and it's going to be Jason Momoa is playing Lobo, so we'll see how that translates to the screen.
The last two I'm going to mention before we have to go, Moana. We're going to see the live action Moana with The Rock. We're going to finally see what Maui looks like in real life. And the last one I'm going to mention is Tom Holland coming back for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yes, I mean, this is a new trilogy of Spider-Man movies. Hopefully they're good. We got a new director, Destin Daniel Cretton. We got new villains. Some villains we've seen like Kingpin and the Punisher, which we've seen in the Daredevil TV show and other things like that. So we're going to get more of a grounded Spider-Man. But, I mean, there's a few big movies you've missed on your list, Vinny, that you didn't mention. I think we'd be remiss, no pun intended, for not saying. And that's the first one being The Odyssey, the latest film from Christopher Nolan, based on the Iliad and the Odyssey, Homer's The Odyssey, and it's got an all-star cast. Christopher Nolan doing a sword and sandals movie. Wow, whoever would have thought that. Matt Damon. I mean, just look up the cast. Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, Matt Damon. I mean, all kinds. John Bernthal's in it. This is probably my number one most anticipated movie of the year. Also, in November is Dune Part 3. Timothy Chalamet is coming back for the third Dune movie. Denis Villeneuve, the director. Another movie with an all-star cast. Zendaya, Robert Pattinson, bunch of the people from the other movies. Florence Pugh. So keep an eye out for Dune Part 3. Also around that time, December, Avengers Doomsday. Marvel had to do a little bit of moving things around and changing things up with the problems with Jonathan Majors. So they reshuffled things and they ended up as Avengers Doomsday. And we're going to get a lot of Avengers and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man and everybody in this movie. And that's going to go directly into Avengers Secret Wars. So you got to kind of watch both of those movies. And I think Spider-Man's going to fit into there somehow. So Brand New Day, keep an eye out for where he fits in from that movie to the next two movies. Also, you got the new Hunger Games movie. Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping. I don't know if you got the book last year that came out. It's the Quarter Quell. It's the story of Hamish. That's Woody Harrelson's character from the first Hunger Games. And we're going to get the story of him. We're going to get a young President Snow played by Ralph Fiennes. So it's going to be interesting to see some characters we've seen before played by other actors and stuff like that. I always like that about the Hunger Games franchise. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, that's another handful of movies that you didn't bring up that I thought I should bring up. We got Wuthering Heights, not right around the corner on Valentine's Day with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, who's playing Frankenstein in the new Frankenstein movie. That's from director Emerald Fennell. That's based on the popular novel, the period piece novel. So there's a lot of good movies coming out. All the movies that we talked about here, there's going to be hundreds of other ones that we haven't talked about. We don't even know about that are coming. You know what I mean? Project Hail Mary with Ryan Gosling coming out in March, from Lord Miller. So there's so many that just because we're talking about them now doesn't mean we're going to be talking about them come next year for the awards or anything like that. It'd be 50 more movies that we never even heard of. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that is all the time we have for you guys tonight. Today. I hope it's not nighttime because I feel like we have a whole day to go through. I want to thank everybody for joining us on a Saturday morning with us. And maybe some of the movies we've seen, you're going to go see in person and, maybe drop us a line. Come on here. Give us a comment. Skip, where can they find you at?
You can find me at my name, Dan Skip Allen, on all social medias, Twitter /X, Thread /Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, Letterboxd.
Your mom's basement. Remember that. Your mom's basement.
Yeah. Just like the king of comedy. Ma, come on. I'm doing a show. Also, I am the owner, editor-in-chief, and head film critic of FromTheFourthRow.com. I've put out my top 10 movies of 2025, my top 10 best TV shows of 2025, my most anticipated movies of 2026. Dropped a review today. I wrapped that interview with the hair and makeup people from The Ugly Stepsister. Plus, we got recent reviews of Migration and Primate, which came out this week from two of my other writers. So I got all kinds of stuff on the site. You go from thefourthrow.com and see everything.
Well, thank you for joining me, Skip. Until next time, guys, I'm Vincent. I'm Venomous Vincent. That's Skip Dan Allen. We'll see you at the movies. Good day, everybody. Oh boy. They must have took it away.